Yes, so we're just kind of reiterating here what we had stated before, though, because the atmosphere is fairly unstable. We've had this unseasonably warm air over the last few days, and that has made the atmosphere really kind of primed and juiced up for the possibility for some powerful thunderstorms. And now with a cold front plowing in from the west, it's an environment that's very conducive to see some of these powerful thunderstorms. We've been talking about all modes of severe weather could be possible, including some hail, damaging wind gusts, frequent lightning, heavy downpours, but also too some funnel clouds and isolated tornadoes. And so far we have had some confirmed tornadoes, again right around Athensville here, and these thunderstorms are lifting off to the northeast, so please seek shelter immediately. We have multiple cities that could be impacted by this line of thunderstorms, this tornadic producing thunderstorm complex. Around Murrayville here very shortly in the next few minutes, also around Woodson at 3:08. Jacksonville will be in line to see these powerful thunderstorms around 3:21 this afternoon. Same story too around Island Grove and also too around Arcadia. All of you will be in line to see these nasty thunderstorms moving in your direction, so please seek shelter immediately. One concern that we have has been the strong winds. Now already we've had reports of an open-sided barn in Greene County that got blown over by the strong winds earlier today. And we've also had reports too of some downed tree limbs and power lines, so please be extra cautious out there, folks. Again, if you live in these warned areas, like in Greene County or Morgan County, please seek shelter immediately. Our one for Morgan County goes until 3:15 this afternoon. So again, these strong thunderstorms are lifting off to the northeast, generally moving at speeds of about 35 miles per hour, but they're definitely capable of packing quite a punch with some strong winds. So we are seeing some concerns with the damage that could be caused by these strong winds. Winds could be easily in excess of 50 to 60 miles per hour. So we're going to be seeing some intense winds with these thunderstorms as they continue to lift off to the northeast. Again, we had a trained weather spotter that reported a circulation here right around Athensville, a funnel cloud, and it's all been lifting off to the northeast, prompting our tornado warnings. What we're looking at here is the velocity mode. We can see how the winds are behaving, especially at the lowest levels, but also too with height. Now, when the winds are going towards the radar site, kind of a green coloration with the wind profile, but as the winds are going away from the radar site, we start to see some other shades showing up, and so that's here, this general area here. We do see this little couplet here, so there is some weak circulation certainly being detected by Doppler radar, and that's indicating that we've got some rotation, some tornadoes here, an actual tornado sighted here. So again, these thunderstorms are lifting off to the north and east. Currently between Athensville and around Murrayville, that is the main crux, the main core of this thunderstorm complex. And it also shows up with a reflectivity mode. You can see the brighter shades of the reds and the magentas. We're seeing some darker colors here, and that shows us the most powerful, most intense part of this thunderstorm complex as it continues to lift off to the northeast. Again, right now we still have our warnings in effect also for Greene and Morgan County. Tornado warnings currently in effect until 3:15 this afternoon, so please seek shelter. You want to go to your home, go to the lowest level of your home, preferably in the basement if you have a basement, but if you don't have a basement, just go to the lowest level and stay away from windows because there could be some flying debris. So again, please seek shelter here in Morgan County and also too for Greene County. Sarah?
Yeah, so just if you're tuning in right now, again, we do have our tornado warning in effect for Greene and Morgan County. The main circulation that you saw earlier is starting to head right into Morgan County right now. So if you're in Murrayville, Nortonville, Pisgah, you need to be in your shelter in place right now. Again, this is moving off towards the northeast at roughly 35 miles per hour. They have been confirmed reports of a tornado touching down. We had a storm reporter that saw a tornado on the ground near Alexander, and then it lifted back up as a funnel cloud. So this has been producing touchdowns within this cell right here, moving into Morgan County. It's going to be very dangerously close to Jacksonville, just towards the south, and then heading into Interstate 72 here. So again, putting back on velocity, as we talked about earlier, velocity is just a fancy word on wind direction, where the wind's blowing. So what you can see here over towards just the south of Murrayville and in between Murrayville and Nortonville, we have this rotation going on. And one thing I do want to note within this system is those bright colors. That's indication of strong winds. So not only are we dealing with tornadic activity, but we're all dealing with dangerous winds. So either way you cut it, you want to make sure you're in your basement, in the most interior part of your home. You don't want to be near any windows, as this system can be throwing debris around. So again, this is moving right into Morgan County, right on the border between Greene and Morgan County here. So you want to make sure that you are in your shelter in place, as this tornado warning is going to last until 3:15 p.m. I'm going to put another tracker on this system for you. Again, moving off towards the northeast at roughly 35 miles per hour. I'm going to bring it just a little bit closer, actually. You put velocity on just so I can see exactly where that initial rotation is, and we're going to drag it off towards the northeast. There we go. So here are a few cities that we want to mention that you will be in the line of sight within this system. Woodson at around 3:08, so very shortly here. 3:17, just on the very far tip of South Jacksonville. Alexander at around 3:24. Island Grove at 3:29, and then Ashland, if it continues to make its way off towards the north and holds, looking at around 3:42 p.m. So again, a tornado warning is in effect now just for Morgan County, as now the main circulation is in just towards the south of Murrayville. The Greene County warning has just been expired, canceled. So we'll continue to stay on air and watch this system for you. We have 15 minutes with it, as this is an observed tornado on the ground, so please seek shelter immediately.
Yeah, we have a trained weather spotter in Murrayville that has actually indicated this tornado, this funnel cloud has actually touched down. So again, that has prompted the continuation of this tornado warning. So the one for Greene County has been allowed to expire, but still, Morgan County right in the thick of things. The strongest thunderstorm area is right around Murrayville. That's where the trained weather spotter indicated the funnel cloud actually touching down briefly. And then we've also had, this is located just to the south of the Jacksonville area, but this line of thunderstorms is lifting off to the north and east. At the very least, if you don't see the funnel clouds or tornadoes, you'll definitely be seeing some strong winds. This line of thunderstorms has had a history of producing wind gusts in excess of 45, 50, close to 55 miles per hour at times. So it has been producing some very strong wind gusts, and that in turn can cause some damage. You can get some downed trees and power lines. You can also get some damage done to your home as well. Some shingles could be torn off. There was a report too of a open-sided barn in Greene County that totally got destroyed because of these strong winds. So this line of thunderstorms is packing a punch. It is certainly packing quite a bit of business here because it is producing some very strong winds. And again, we're seeing some isolated reports now, some funnel clouds and tornadoes within this line of thunderstorms. And that has prompted our latest warning now for Morgan County, currently in a tornado warning right now until 3:15 local time. So again, the worst of the worst is located now just to the south of Jacksonville, but these thunderstorms are generally moving off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. And we'll put a tracker on these thunderstorms and you can see what direction they're going to be going and what other cities that could be affected by this tornadic producing thunderstorm line here. So currently we're seeing these thunderstorms very close to Murrayville. That's where the circulation was sighted, but they are moving off to the northeast. So here's some other cities that will be in line to see these nasty thunderstorms. Putting a tracker on these, Woodson here around 3:10. Pisgah around 3:17, also to Alexander 3:27. If they hold together, they could be impacting Prentiss at 3:41, then eventually Ashland at 3:45. So this line of thunderstorms still looking fairly impressive as it lifts off to the north and east. We've been seeing some circulation with these funnel clouds, and actual trained weather spotters indicate that these funnel clouds have actually touched the ground in a few places. So again, we've been seeing this line of thunderstorms really packing quite a wallop here as it continues to lift off to the northeast. So please, from Jacksonville all the way down towards Murrayville, you'll definitely want to seek shelter here in Morgan County. Definitely go to the lowest level of your home. Stay away from windows because there could be some flying debris, especially with these wind gusts that we've been seeing in excess of 50 miles per hour. That can cause some damage. What we're looking at here is Doppler radar, but this is now the velocity mode, and it shows us how the winds are behaving. Typically, when we see these brighter shades of the red, that indicates, or the green, that indicates the winds are going towards the radar site. But these lighter colors and the red colors indicates the winds are going away from the radar site. So we're seeing kind of a couplet right in this general area here, and that is where there's indication of some circulation, some rotation, and hence that is the core of this, where we're seeing the actual tornado warning in effect. So again, it's between Murrayville and now between Nortonville, and again, it continues to lift off to the north and east. That is the circulation that we're watching closely because it could really cause some damage. So please, in Morgan County, please seek shelter immediately. You're currently under a tornado warning for the next few minutes until 3:15 local time. Again, what we oftentimes recommend is that if you live in a home, especially a mobile home, you want to go to a more substantial building. A regular home, though, if you want to go to the lowest level of that home, lowest level of your house, preferably stay away from windows because with these strong winds, window panes could easily get blown out. So stay away from windows, go to the lowest level, and go to an interior room of your home. Again, these thunderstorms are moving off to the northeast. Right now, our tornado warning continues until 3:15 local time. We are seeing the possibility of, besides the strong winds, there could be some hail, definitely some lightning too, and some heavier downpours with these showers and thunderstorms as they continue to rumble off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. Putting a tracker on these thunderstorms, here's some of the other cities in line. Alexander at 326, heads up around Prentice. You could be in line to see these powerful thunderstorms moving in your area around 339. If they hold together, even around Ashland at 344 this afternoon, you too would be in line to see these powerful thunderstorms as they continue to lift off to the northeast. So Sarah, do you have some more information regarding these thunderstorms?
Yes, just looking at the track, one thing we're really concerned about is this is going to be making its way into Interstate 72 here very shortly in the next 15 to 10 minutes. So avoid traveling if you can, if you need to make your way over towards Jacksonville. We do have this tornado warning in effect. It looks like it's now radar indicated instead of observed. That's when you saw that switch in the color there from magenta to red. Still want to take it seriously, even though it is radar indicated, as we did have this storm cell has produced funnels, tornado touchdowns. So you want to take this polygon very seriously as it tracks off towards the northeast at around 35 miles per hour. Again, as we said earlier, it's right in between Murrayville and Nortonville. That's where the core of the rotation is at. You can see all that lightning along with it. So not only are you worrying about anything tornadic being produced by the storm, you need to worry about damaging winds. Up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. Also vivid lightning, heavy downpours. So you want to make sure that you are still in your shelter in place, whether that's your basement or the most interior part of your home. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, because not only can a tornado throw around debris, but winds can throw around debris. So you want to take this situation very seriously. Again, this is moving off towards the northeast at around 35 miles per hour. I'm going to put another tracker on this for you, and then we'll go through velocity and see how that little couplet is doing. So again, moving off towards the northeast at around 35 miles per hour, a few places to note that will be impacted by this system, and also even just that line of storms, robust line of storms passing through the region. So Woodson at around 310, Jacksonville, at least toward the south of Jacksonville, at around 322, over towards Virginia at 347, Chandlerville at just before 4 o'clock. Again, very dangerous situation here as it continues to plow into Morgan County as this tornado warning lasts until 3:15, so we have another 8 minutes for this system. We'll watch it very closely as it's starting to now conjoin with that line there, so we'll have to watch and see if this rotation continues as it moves off, even trying to clip parts of Cass County over towards just barely into Sangamon County here near the Ashland region. So something we'll have to watch out very closely for this evening as this line continues to plow into central Illinois.
Yeah, we've been watching this line very, very closely, and at least one thing that was kind of working in our favor today is the fact that we'd had that batch of showers and thunderstorms earlier today, and oftentimes that can kind of work over the atmosphere to the point where the thunderstorms are not quite as severe as what they could be, so that was one thing working in our favor. But certainly, too, over the last few days, we've had some unseasonably warm weather, and now with that cold front plowing in from the west, the atmosphere is still unstable enough where we can see these powerful thunderstorms, and indeed, that's been coming to fruition for today. Strong thunderstorms, you can see that main cold front right now working in from the west, working in across Cass and Morgan County, but at least along that frontal boundary, too, we've been seeing some spin-offs and some rotation. Hence, we've had tornado warnings, and we've also had some funnel cloud sightings. So we're still seeing that possibility for more spin-ups right around this general area, especially from just south and east of Jacksonville down towards around the Nortonville area. That you can see that the brighter shades of the oranges and the reds, that is the main core of our tornadic thunderstorm complex that we've been watching very closely. You can also see lots of lightning strikes, lots of thunder and lightning too in association with these thunderstorms. And as Sarah was mentioning just a few minutes ago, this is now lifting to the north and east, approaching the I-72 corridor. So the last thing on earth that you want to do is to be caught outside traveling on the road if these powerful thunderstorms are headed in your direction, because if they don't spin off tornadoes, well, they'll certainly be producing some strong wind gusts, and that could be very hazardous for traveling. So at this point, again, have been packing wind gusts easily over 50 miles per hour, if not higher, and that can cause some substantial damage. You can get blown out window panes, and there could be flying glass and definitely a lot of debris. So please be careful. Right now, our tornado warning continues for Morgan County until 3:15. So it's in effect for the next few minutes or so. We'll wait and see if they extend that warning. But right now, we're still under this active tornado warning. You can actually see the couplet right here. We definitely see some circulation right in here. Again, we've got the winds going away and towards the radar site, so we've got definitely a little circulation pattern certainly showing up there right around the Pisgah area. So we're watching this very closely. These thunderstorms have had a history of moving off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So again, they're lifting up closer and closer towards the I-72 corridor. And a lot of folks might be out and about for today, especially this being a holiday, but you definitely don't want to be traveling and caught with these thunderstorms. So it's going to be a kind of a nasty situation, at least for a while longer. As these thunderstorms lift off to the north and east, again, moving at speeds of close to 35 miles per hour, here's some of the other cities that will likely be impacted over the next several minutes, especially a heads up around Alexander, around 3:21, these thunderstorms moving in your direction. Also, too, around Prentice at 3:33, eventually Ashland, and then eventually, too, around Tallulah, 3:47. These nasty thunderstorms lifting off to the north and east will be rolling over towards your area, too. So please be really weather alert. Stay very cautious out there. We've got strong winds. We've got the possibility for some heavy lightning, heavy downpours with these thunderstorms, obviously, too, the funnel clouds and isolated tornadoes. So don't let your guard down just yet. That is for sure. As this cold front continues to plow off towards the east, triggering more thunderstorms, our tornado warning continues right now for Morgan County until 3:15. So for the next few minutes or so, still looking at these nasty thunderstorms. Right now, you can see them located very close to Pisgah and also to around the Mortonville area and just to the south and east of Jacksonville. This is the main batch here. As we're looking at our reflectivity mode here, you can see the brighter shades of the oranges and the reds. North and east at about 35 miles per hour. So right now, still under that active tornado warning for Morgan County until 3:15. Sarah?
So again, if you're just tuning in, thank you for tuning in to News Channel 20 or Fox, Illinois. Again, we have our tornado warning that's going to continue until 3:15, so just another less than 3 minutes here. Moving through Morgan County, and one of the concerns we have is moving across Interstate 72 here very shortly, so want to avoid traveling from New Berlin over towards Jacksonville. And as this line continues to plow through the region, not only are we going to be dealing with possible more spin-ups, but that chance for some damaging winds. We already have reports of a one-sided barn being toppled over, some tree limbs down over in Greene County. This storm system has produced funnel clouds and touchdowns off into Greene County. So you want to take this polygon seriously as it continues to track off towards the northeast. So let's look exactly and see where is the center of rotation. We're going to put on velocity mode, and that's just a fancy term for what direction the winds are blowing. So greens are going towards the radar site, which is Lincoln, and any grayish areas, that's going away from the Lincoln site. So here it is. You can see that little couplet right near Pisgah, just towards the south and just south of Route 104. Again, moving off towards Alexander in the line of sight here. I'm going to put back on the velocity here. So again, we have this system moving off towards the northeast, and as I put back on the polygon, it has been extended farther off towards the northeast. So we do have a new polygon being issued. This is for far northeastern portions of Morgan County and a little sliver of Sangamon County to off towards the west, just south of Ashland. So this is that one. The new one is going to last until 3:45 p.m. Again, tornado radar indicated, as the system has been producing rotation, has had touchdowns of funnel clouds. So this has now moved a little bit closer to home off towards our west of Springfield, far west of Springfield. So you want to make sure you are in your shelter in place, especially in the new area that includes Alexander, areas along near Yatesville, and just south of Pleasant Plains. Even though Pleasant Plain, you're not in the polygon, you're just barely on it, I still would want to stay weather alert and be ready to go into your safe spot, as this is going to be heading in your general direction. Again, the center of rotations over near Pisgah, so I'm going to put a tracker on the system has the direction change, a speed
It's
change.
still northeast, but I wanted to say now they've expanded a tornado watch for most of our viewing area
Okay.
until 9 o'clock. So we
We'll
can show
put that
too.
on. We'll put that on here in just a bit. But really quickly, I want to track out the system for you. Again, it's near Pisgah, moving
And
off towards the northeast, still at 35.
Now it's going 40 miles per hour.
40 miles
Northeast
per
at
hour.
40.
Okay, let me change that real quick so it's moving just a little bit faster.
It's located near Alexander, 7 miles southeast of Jacksonville, moving northeast at 40.
Okay, so let me put the tracker
So it's
on
near
this.
Alexander.
Okay. So here is a new tracker on it. So Prentice at around 3:33, Ashland around 3:37, Tallulah at 3:45, and then Petersburg at just before 4 o'clock. So you want to make sure that you are in your shelter in place right now, as this warning has now been extended into far northeastern portions of Morgan County and far western portions of Sangamon County, just barely clipping Pleasant Plains, but still, even if you live in Pleasant Plains and you're watching right now, you want to stay extra alert as you're just barely in the polygon. You still want to respect it. Make sure you know where to go in your safe spot, whether that's the basement or the most interior part of your home. Not only are we dealing with possibility of this storm producing tornadoes, but also damaging winds. So both of those scenarios can cause for flying debris. So you want to make sure you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, just to repeat, here's a few more cities in that. Again, Prentice at around 3:33, Ashland at around just before 3:40, Tallulah at around 3:45, and then Petersburg just before 4 o'clock. So you want to stay in your shelter in place as the system's now moving just a little bit faster as it's catching up with that initial line of storms passing through the region. So it's moving off towards the northeast now at around 40 miles per hour. Again, it's right near, if not over towards Interstate 72. And as Cheryl mentioned, we have now pushed a tornado watch. The Storm Prediction Center has put out a tornado watch for the rest of the viewing area. So that includes areas like Champaign, Mattoon, Decatur, here in Springfield, over towards Peoria, as we're going to see this line of potent thunderstorms passing through the region. We've been very unseasonably warm. That's caused for these storms to be very intense for the month of October. And also we have a low pressure system near the area, so that's causing for that rotation to occur in our environment. So again, we do have our tornado warning right now. The other one that was for parts of South Morgan County was canceled, so now we just have the one for Morgan and Sangamon County. That's going to last until 3:45 p.m. Again, that is moving off just very close off towards the Pleasant Plains, where it just ends right there. But again, as we look off towards the west, you can see this line of thunderstorms barreling through the region, all the way heading off towards Havana, Jacksonville, all the way down towards the south. That's going to be heading towards the Springfield region. So want to stay extra alert, because not only are we dealing with the possibility for more rotation within this line, but also that threat for some damaging winds.
Yeah, it's been a very, very active afternoon. It kind of started off on a slow side this morning, but then things really got busy here the last few hours or so. So this is our main line that we're watching very closely. There is a cold front currently plowing in from the west, and it's colliding with all that warm air that we've been dealing with the last couple of days. And now along that leading edge of that cold front, that's where we've been seeing these spin-offs and these isolated tornadoes and funnel clouds. At this point, the main game in town is our tornado warning that continues currently for Morgan and Sangamon County until 3:45. The most intense thunderstorms just very close to Jacksonville, just to the east of Jacksonville. They're now kind of cutting a path right along the I-72 corridor here as they continue to lift off to the northeast. They've had picked up somewhat as far as forward momentum. They were going at speeds of about 35 miles per hour. Now these thunderstorms are moving at speeds close to 40 miles per hour. So we've got the fast movement of these thunderstorms, but also to the energy aloft, and that's helping to cause these robust thunderstorms. So they could be definitely producing some damaging winds. Besides the possibility for tornadoes, we could also see some strong damaging wind gusts as well, where winds could easily be clocked over 50, 55 miles per hour. So definitely be weather alert for the rest of this afternoon into the evening hours, as these thunderstorms are certainly capable of producing some shingle damage, down trees and power lines. Just a whole host of different issues could be going on with these strong winds coming through the area. Now, what we're currently looking at here, this is Doppler radar. This is what we call the velocity mode, and it shows us how the winds are behaving. As the winds are going towards the radar site, we see the shades of green. As the winds are going away from the radar site, we see the shades of red. So we definitely see a couplet right in this general area here. So that is showing us where we definitely have some circulation. Again, not too far from Jacksonville, getting ready to cross over the I-72 corridor. So we're seeing some circulation here. We've seen over the last several minutes or so, funnel clouds and also 2 confirmed sightings of tornadoes by trained weather spotters. So it's been a very active line of thunderstorms, and now this line of thunderstorms moving very close from Jacksonville, lifting off to the northeast. So as we put a tracker on these thunderstorms, I'll let you know what other cities will be impacted. Again, you can definitely see some prolific lightning, so that's been really picking up, becoming really beefed up here in the last several minutes as well. But putting a tracker on these thunderstorms and now lifting to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour, here are some other cities that will be in line to see these powerful thunderstorms. So a heads up if you live in Ashland, it'll be affecting you at 3:40 this afternoon. Also too around Tallulah at 3:47, Petersburg 3:57, then eventually Greenview shortly after 4 o'clock. So just some nasty thunderstorms currently roaring off to the north and east. Again, currently not too far from Alexander. Again, just to the south and east here of Jacksonville, but again, roaring off to the northeast, eventually heading over towards Ashland and eventually around Petersburg too if they hold together. So these thunderstorms again have had a history producing strong winds. We've seen some circulation. We've had some funnel clouds and actual tornado sightings as well. So please, if you live in Morgan County and also too in Sangamon County, please seek shelter immediately. This is not something to take lightly because these thunderstorms can cause some damage. So you want to go to your home, go to the interior-most room of your home, especially down in the basement and interior lowest level of your home. You want to go there, and you want to stay away from windows because with these powerful winds and strong winds, it can definitely knock out some window panes and cause some flying debris. So you definitely want to seek shelter, stay away from windows, and definitely seek shelter right now from Morgan and Sangamon County, or tornado warning continues for the next several minutes until 3:45. Again, this is all in association with a cold front that continues to plow in from the west. The cold front has already been packing quite a punch with some strong winds around that frontal boundary. Frequent vivid lightning. We've had some heavier downpours too, so there's going to be a whole host of issues that we'll be dealing with. The possibility for some localized flooding with these heavy rains, definitely the lightning, strong winds, and of course now we've seen some actual funnel clouds and tornado sightings, so still tornado warnings continue for Morgan and Sangamon County until 3:45 this afternoon. So the worst of the worst right now just to the east of Jacksonville, also to west of New Berlin. Again, heading off to the north and east, these thunderstorms are packing quite a punch as they continue to roar to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So please be extra cautious and stay weather alert this afternoon. Sarah?
Yes, so and also just for the other counties right now, as we zoom out, this is just the bigger picture of what we're seeing at the moment. So you can see this line of robust thunderstorms moving through the region, so right through, passing through Jacksonville at the moment, moving through Menard County here. So again, you want to seek shelter immediately and not be outside within this line of thunderstorms. Can cause some poor visibilities. Again, also have that possibility for some more spin-ups through the rest of the evening, as the Storm Prediction Center did issue a tornado watch for the rest of the region, which does include Springfield, Decatur, Charleston, Champaign, Danville. So everyone except for, I believe, Greene, Macoupin, Montgomery, and Fayette County, some of those southwestern counties here, are not in that tornado watch. But for the rest of the region, as a majority, are under a tornado watch for the rest of the evening. Do we know what time exactly that tornado watch expires? Till 9? Okay, so till 9 p.m. So you want to stay weather alert for the rest of the evening here, have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. That's very important, even as we get into the winter months too. So you want to make sure that you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts, whether that's your NOAA radio or your phone. You want to make sure that you have multiple ways to receive alerts, especially if, let's say, your batteries die or your phone dies. You want to make sure you have those alerts so you can seek shelter immediately. But let's zoom back in on this tornado warning. That's for Morgan and for the far western portion of Sangamon County. That barely includes Pleasant Plains. So if you do live in Pleasant Plains, even though you're not in the polygon, I definitely would suggest making sure you know where to go, where your safe spot is, if indeed this polygon does get extended farther northeast. Again, Petersburg, also Ashland too as well. You need to make sure you know where to go. So again, just go through all the usual steps of when we do tornado warning coverage. Our tornado warning is including Morgan and far western portions of Sangamon County. That's going to be valid until 3:45 p.m. This is radar indicated, but this storm cell has the history of producing funnel clouds, wind damage, and tornado touchdowns. So you want to take this seriously, even though it is technically radar indicated. And what that means by radar indicated is that we can see rotation going on in this cell. So we're going to put on velocity, and velocity is just a fancy term for where are the winds blowing. So green is going towards the radar site, which is in Lincoln, Illinois, and then red, or that grayish tone that you can see sometimes, is going away. So it's right off west of Alexander and east of Jacksonville. Right now, moving over Interstate 72. So I'm going to get my little arrow tool. It's right there. It's right there. Just few miles off west of Alexander, moving off towards the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So Ashland is definitely in sight for that, and also Pleasant Plains. So I'm going to put a tracker on the system for you so you can time out when exactly, if it's, especially for any cities off towards the northeast, when this could be heading your way. Again, moving off towards the northeast at around 40 miles per hour, so on that projected course. Here are a few more cities, if this continues to hold, would be impacted by the system. So Ashland at around 340, Tallulah at 348, Petersburg just before 4 o'clock at 357, Oakford at 402, and Greenview at 408. So if you live in these cities, especially from Ashland to Petersburg and Pleasant Plains, you want to make sure that you know where your safe spot is, whether that's your basement or the most interior part of your home. Though if you do live in that polygon, which is in between Jacksonville and New Berlin, you want to make sure you're still in your shelter in place, whether that's that basement or the most interior part of your home. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, because not only is this storm capable of producing tornadic activity, but it's also capable of producing damaging winds. So both of those two threats can cause for flying debris. And we already had reports of a one-sided barn being destroyed and some tree limbs down earlier this afternoon from that cell, from this clusters of storms from Greene County.
Yeah, our latest batch of thunderstorms that we're watching right now, that tornado warning that continues currently for portions of Morgan County and extreme western Sangamon County until 3:45. All this active weather was probably or actually induced by what we saw, or at least a train weather spotter indicated some circulation, actually reported a tornado touching down right around the city of Alexander. So that's what prompted this most recent tornado warning. So it's very close to Alexander and just to the east of the Jacksonville area. But you can see it's moving right along the I-72 corridor, now lifting up past the interstate here, but it's heading off to the northeast. A lot of different cities will likely be impacted, so we can't stress it enough that this line of thunderstorms has had a history of producing some very strong wind gusts earlier today. Winds were around 35, 40, 50, 55 miles per hour, and we did have reports of a open-sided barn that was actually toppled over and destroyed in Greene County. We've also had reports of some large tree limbs that got toppled over as well. So we've had some issues, very strong winds, as this line of thunderstorms continues to blast in from west to east, and it will continue to rumble its way across the heart of Illinois over the next several hours or so. And actually, much of central Illinois remains under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight, meaning conditions are favorable in and around central Illinois, where we might be seeing more of these powerful thunderstorms breaking out over the next several hours. So it's one of those days that we definitely have to stay weather alert, have multiple means of getting weather notifications, whether you're watching us on TV or else having the news channel weather app or the Fox Illinois weather app, so you can get those weather notifications sent directly to your phone no matter where you are. But please have multiple means of getting notifications, because the weather can change just like that. And you don't want to be caught off guard with these stronger thunderstorms blasting their way across Illinois. So currently, again, we have our tornado warning in effect for Morgan and Sangamon County until 3:45 this afternoon. Here's where the strongest thunderstorms are, just to the east of Jacksonville. You can see the prolific lightning. We've been seeing some heavy downpours, the brighter shades of the reds and the oranges. So some really intense thunderstorms taking place right here in Morgan County, but they are lifting off to the north and east. These thunderstorms are moving at speeds of about 40 miles per hour, traveling off to the northeast. So in this projected course, here are some of the other cities that will likely be impacted. Ashland around 3:36, Tallulah at 3:44 this afternoon. Also heads up around Petersburg and Greenview and Easton. All of these thunderstorms will be roaring off to the north and east here over the next several minutes or so. So please, now is the time to seek shelter. If you live in western Sangamon County or here in parts of Morgan County, please seek shelter. You don't want to be caught outside in these thunderstorms, because again, it could be very, very dangerous. potentially dangerous, you want to go to a sturdier building, go to the interior-most room and the lowest level building or lowest level room that you can find in that home. And please stay away from windows, because oftentimes with these strong winds, it doesn't take much to kind of blow out a window pane. You can get flying glass and flying debris. So you want to make sure that you protect yourself and guard your family, you and your family, against the possibility for some damage as these thunderstorms are blasting through. Right now, our tornado warning continues currently till 3:45 for Morgan and Sangamon County, with the worst of the worst right now just to the east of Jacksonville, crossing over the I-72 corridor and now lifting to the north and east. I have to admit, though, over the last several minutes, this line of thunderstorms is not quite as impressive as how it looked earlier, but still these thunderstorms are still packing quite a wallop as they lift off to the northeast. So again, a heads up, places like Morgan County and western Sangamon County still actively under that tornado warning until 3:45. Sarah?
So I want to put a tracker on this line. I'm going to estimate around, this line's moving at roughly around 40 miles per hour. So for areas here in Springfield, here's where this line is going to be impacting you. So I'm going to put this line here. So this is all moving off towards roughly the northeast here. So just so you know, within this line itself, because this line is capable of producing not only some spin-offs, but also damaging winds. That's been the main concern that we have from the rest of today. So here's a look at a few other cities as this line continues to plow through central Illinois. So Carlinville around 3:35. Woodside just before 4 o'clock. Springfield, again, right near 4 o'clock for us here, so we'll see these thunderstorms and rain showers passing through the region. Lincoln around 4:26, Eureka at 4:42, Decatur just before 5 o'clock at 4:57, and then Long Creek at 5:05. So again, this line of robust thunderstorms continues to track off towards the northeast. Again, as Cheryl mentioned, not as robust as they were before, but they still can pack a punch with heavy downpours, which can cause poor visibility, some damaging winds that can cause for some loose limbs to fall over and some tree limbs down. So still want to take this line seriously as this continues to track off towards the east, and we do have that tornado watch in effect for a good portion of central Illinois. That's going to last until 9 p.m. And that tornado watch does include areas like Springfield, Champaign, Taylorville, and Shelbyville. But again, we do have our tornado warning that continues until 3:45 p.m. for parts of Morgan and far portions of West Sangamon County, just barely clipping Pleasant Plains here. Really quickly, let's go through velocity. Let's see where the tight rotation, or at least what rotation is occurring right now. So right just to the south of Ashland, moving over towards, let's see, what's that, Route 123. So let me get my little arrow tool here. So it's like right around here. You can see, so we have a little bit of that red that's going away from radar, green going towards, so it's right around here. So just towards the south of Ashland, that is moving off towards the northeast there. So there is that. And I'm going to put another tracker on the initial tornadic cell. That's moving off towards the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So again, it's right around there. I'm going to push it off towards east. And, oh, we just got a new one. And this is observed. So that is observed. Can you see, Cheryl, what they're saying in the chat room for that?
Confirmed tornado located near Ashland or 12 miles southeast of Virginia, moving north at 40.
Okay. So now this new tornado warning, which is observed, so this has been spotted by a trained spotter. This includes parts of Cass County, Menard County, Morgan County, and again that far portions of Sangamon County, which includes just west of Pleasant Plains. So you want to be in your shelter in place now that this system has now confirmation of a tornado on the ground. Again, this is going to last until 4:15 p.m. Again, this is for Cass, Menard, Morgan, and Sangamon County. So as I said earlier, again, the rotation is heading off towards near Ashland. We're going to put a tracker on the system. Let me see, where is it at? So, okay, yeah, so it's right around there. I'm going to put another tracker, and it's still moving at 40, correct?
Yes.
Still? Okay.
Yes,
Just
northeast at 40. Or excuse me, or they're saying north at 40. I'm sorry.
North at 40. Got it. Okay. So let's put another tracker on the system as it continues to move off towards the north. So here are a few more places that will be impacted by this as it moves off toward the north now. Ashland at around 3:37, Tallulah at 3:45, Petersburg just before 4 o'clock at 3:55, Oakford at just right around near 4 o'clock, and then Greenview at 4:06. Again, we have a new tornado warning that has confirmation of a tornado on the ground near Ashland. Again, moving off towards the north at 40 miles per hour. So you want to be in your shelter in place now. You want to be in your basement. If you don't have a basement, you want to be in the most interior part of your home, away from windows, as this tornado that's on the ground can produce flying debris. Even just the winds itself from the initial line passing through the region can produce some gusty conditions as well. So take this polygon seriously. Again, this includes areas like Ashland, parts of Pleasant Plains, Petersburg. So please be in your shelter in place right now, as we have a new confirmed tornado on the ground over near Ashland.
Yeah, so we have that confirmed tornado now that has been sighted here around Ashland, and that prompted our most recent severe thunderstorm and tornado warning that we have right now in effect, and this has actually caused an extension of this tornado warning. So again, it primarily impacts Morgan County, also to a large chunk here of Sangamon County, now lifting off to the north and east. So this line of thunderstorms currently right very close to the Route 123 area. That is the area that we're watching most intently because it is showing us the most powerful part of this thunderstorm complex. You can see some of the brighter shades of the reds and the oranges. That's what we call when we're looking at the reflectivity mode. That's the most strongest, intense part of this thunderstorm complex. But again, it's generally now moving off to the north. Changed direction a little bit. It was moving to the northeast, now mainly moving off to the north though, but it's now still moving at a fairly good clip at about 40 miles per hour. So it's that line here very close to Ashland. And as we put a tracker on these thunderstorms, again, moving generally now to the north at about 40 miles per hour. We'll put a tracker on these thunderstorms and you can see exactly some of the cities that will likely be impacted as these thunderstorms continue to roar off to the north. So here we go as we indicate for you right now. We've got Ashland again, definitely in the thick of things, but also to around Tallulah at 3:45, Oakford 3:59. If they hold together, maybe around Kilbourne, and also to some other cities will likely be impacted. So the main concerns that we have is the possibility for some very strong winds. We have seen some funnel clouds and some circulation. So that can definitely be capable of producing some damage. So we can't stress enough, you want to seek shelter. You don't want to be caught outdoors. You certainly don't want to be traveling with these nasty thunderstorms blasting through the area. So please go to a building, a sturdier building, go to an interior room, especially the lowest level of that building. Go to the basement if you have a basement, but go to an interior room, and please stay away from windows because there can be some flying debris, there can be some broken glass and flying debris that can cause quite a bit of damage. So please make sure that you and your family are staying safe. You want to definitely seek shelter here in Morgan and Sangamon County until 3:45. That is our latest tornado warning. This has actually been cited by a confirmed trained weather spotter, indicating that there was an actual tornado touching down around Ashland. So that's prompted our latest warning, our tornado warning right now for Morgan and also too for Sangamon County until 3:45. I'm going to switch the modes here. We're going to go back into the reflectivity mode here. We can kind of see where the movement is, and as we zoom in a little bit closer here, keep in mind that this is just looking at the velocity, how the winds are behaving, and oftentimes we will look at how the winds are going towards the radar site or away from the radar site. When the winds or the coloration is green, that means the winds are going towards the radar site. When we see that red coloration, that means the winds are going away from the radar site. And we can definitely see that here. You can see the brighter shades of the green, but also too some bright red, and that indicates circulation, some rotation. And hence, again, we had a trained weather spotter that indicated a tornado actually touching down very close to Ashland, as you can see. So right there, that is our couplet. That is showing us that classic signature of some circulation. So definitely we have some rotation there, and that is our tornado warning that we have currently in effect for that area. So again, we've got a very busy weather pattern here across central Illinois. We've got some thunderstorms and definitely we've had this history of funnel clouds and tornadoes blasting through the area. And the bigger picture shows that we've got this squall line. That is the main action that we're looking at. We've got this cold front that continues to plow in from the west. So this cold front is pretty much this line of thunderstorms running right there. But anywhere along that line of thunderstorms, we could definitely see these spin-offs or these tornadoes being induced by this line of thunderstorms, by the cold front. So it's one of those weather patterns that we definitely have to stay weather alert, stay weather savvy, because things could change in a moment. But right now, the worst of the worst, very close to the Jacksonville area, and also too now, as we were mentioning, some strong thunderstorms lifting off right now, impacting western parts of Sangamon County, with our warning continuing now for Morgan and Sangamon County until 3:45. So the thunderstorms have now lifted their way north of the I-72 corridor, now just north of there, but they're holding their own. They're still lifting off to the north. They were moving towards the northeast, now generally moving in a northerly fashion, about 40 miles per hour. So this is our main line of thunderstorms, but we'll be seeing more moisture, more energy being fed northward, so that could help to really beef up these thunderstorms even more. So we'll have to watch the situation very closely. Right now for Morgan and Sangamon County, still under tornado warnings until 3:45.
It's just some new information coming in. So just earlier ago, there was a confirmed tornado that crossed I-72. It did actually flip a semi-truck on I-72. So it does have confirmation of that passing through the interstate. They were also getting reports of another possible circulation just west, somewhat west, northwest of Berlin, broad rotation being observed on radar. So we'll have to watch this situation very carefully as the National Weather Service in Lincoln continues our tornado warning for Cass, Menard, Sangamon County until 4:15. Again, a confirmed tornado was located over near Ashland, or just 12 miles east of Virginia, moving off towards the northeast at around, now to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So it's moving off northeast roughly here across central Illinois. So again, let's zoom into that region right now. Again, it does include Petersburg, Ashland, Newmansville, Tallulah, impacting routes like 97, 123, and what is this other one over towards Ashland? In Pleasant Place, 123. So please be in your shelter in place right now. You want to be in your basement. If you don't have a basement, you want to be in the most interior part of your home. You want to have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, our one down towards Morgan and Sangamon County, that's going to be lasting another 4 more minutes. But the main one that we have right now that definitely we'll have to watch out very closely for is this new warning for Cass, Menard, Sangamon County until 4:15, as this has confirmation tornado on the ground that was near Ashland a little earlier ago. So you want to make sure that you are in your shelter in place right now. Again, looking at velocity here. Here is a look. It's starting to get a little bit muddled here. Let me see. Let me go look at this. So again, it's near Ashland. You can see the rotation is not as impressive as it was before, but we're getting a little bit closer towards Lincoln. And so when we get a little bit closer towards the radar site, things can get a little bit muddled there. But again, it's near Ashland where we're seeing that rotation going on right now. And then they said there was a little bit, I can see, yeah. If that's what they're thinking, that's where it's at. There's another little area that we'll have to watch out for that's showing a little bit just to the north of New Berlin that I see there. But again, we have this robust line of thunderstorms passing through the region. We just have little shower pop up right here in the studio. So not out of the woods just yet, as we do have a tornado watch in effect for most of central Illinois. That includes Springfield, Champaign, Decatur until 9 p.m. But for now, we're going to be focusing on this line as it moves through the region. And of course, this tornado warning, these 2 tornado warnings right now, this one it should be expiring here soon. It's really this one up here towards Ashland that we're really concerned about. Again, moving off towards the northeast at around 40 miles per hour here. So I'm going to put another tracker on this system for you as it moves off towards the northeast here. So here are a few cities that will be impacted by this system. So Tallulah at around 3:49, Petersburg just before 4 o'clock, Kilbourne at 4:08, Mason City, if it continues to hold its own, around 4:22 in Quever, I'm probably saying that wrong, 4:30. So again, as it moves off towards the north, so moving into Mason County, please be weather alert as this is heading off into a northerly fashion. So places like Kilbourne and Mason City, for the potential for tornadic activity, you want to stay weather alert for this evening.
Service chat room, now they're indicating some circulation from around Berlin, and it's located a few miles southeast of the Pleasant Plains area. And they said we'll need to watch this one too for possibly an expansion for the tornado warning. So there seems to be some circulation right now near Berlin, so we'll have to watch that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a volatile situation. Stronger thunderstorms could be popping up. Definitely some spin-offs and some rotation and funnel clouds and actual confirmed tornadoes are definitely all on the plate for this afternoon and this evening as we're tracking this cold front and this line of thunderstorms right now, making inroads across the heart of the land of Lincoln here. So we've got some very busy weather right now, and our tornado warning continues right now for Cass, Menard, and Sangamon counties until 4:15.
I'm gonna put a tracker on this whole line here. Again, this is moving off roughly. Again, it's like northeast. It's following this low pressure system, so they have that rotation going on as this low pressure system lifts off toward the northeast. So here are a few more places that could be impacted again with just the line. I want to stress, not the cell that's tornadic. The line of thunderstorms. So Chatham at around 3:56. Springfield, just right around 4 o'clock, we'll see this line plow through the region. Lincoln at around 4:30, Pekin at 4:18, Eureka 4:48, Decatur right around 5 o'clock, Long Creek at 5:13, and Empire at 5:24.
Yeah, we're tracking the cold front right now, working its way across central Illinois, but the upper level low still has yet to clear the area too. So the atmosphere is still unstable, and to see more stronger thunderstorms popping up throughout the course of the afternoon into the evening hours, definitely not out of the question. But right now, the most intense part is right here. As you can see, north and east of Jacksonville, right around the Athens area. We've been seeing this line of thunderstorms definitely having a history of producing funnel clouds and actual tornadoes touching the ground, in fact. And we still have our warnings in effect now for Cass, Menard, and Sangamon counties until 4:15. You can see some of the worst weather just to the south and east of the Petersburg area. And we can see these definitely intense thunderstorms tracking generally to the north and northeast, kind of vacillating between 35 to about 40 miles per hour, but generally lifting off in a northerly fashion here. So we'll watch these. Now, of course, we've been seeing the possibility for these funnel clouds and tornadoes, but also just strong damaging wind gusts can pose a lot of problems as well, with some downed trees and power lines and some damage to your home. So you'll definitely want to seek shelter. This is a line of thunderstorms that has certainly had a history of producing some strong winds. We had a report of a open-sided barn earlier today that totally got toppled over and destroyed in Greene County. So this line of thunderstorms has had a history of producing some nasty weather. So we're certainly not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination as our tornado warning continues now for Cass, Menard, and Sangamon County. Again, I'd like to put a tracker on these thunderstorms, and you can see some other cities that will be in line to see these nasty thunderstorms. This tornadic producing thunderstorm could be impacting you here very shortly. So as we put a tracker on these thunderstorms, again, a heads up around Tallulah at 3:48. Also to around Petersburg, around 3:56, or shortly after the top or before the top of the hour. Some other cities will be around the Oakford area at 4:03, Greenview at 4:09, and if they hold together, Mason City around 4:21. So nasty thunderstorms are lifting off to the north and east, and again, these thunderstorms have had a history of producing funnel clouds and some isolated tornadoes, so please seek shelter immediately. You definitely want to stay weather alert for the rest of the afternoon, and please have multiple means of receiving weather notifications, whether it's watching us here on News Channel 20 or Fox Illinois, but also too maybe having the News Channel or the Fox Illinois weather app. That way, no matter where you are, those push notifications could be sent directly to your phone to help give you a heads up that there's some nasty weather headed in your direction. So please stay weather alert, and please, if you live in Cass, Morgan, or Sangamon County, you want to seek shelter because these thunderstorms, again, have had a history of producing isolated tornadoes, and also too some funnel clouds. So you want to make sure that you go to an interior room, go to the lowest level of your house, go to the lowest room that you can find, the lowest level, and please stay away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside elements as possible, because with the strong winds that we've been seeing, there could definitely be some broken glass and some flying debris. So please, again, seek shelter. Our tornado warning continues for the next few minutes here for Cass, Menard, and Sangamon counties until 4:15. Sarah?
Yes, so again, we'll stay on air through the duration of this warning. Again, this is confirmed. This was a train weather spotter. Saw the tornado touchdown, and that's why we have an observed tornado warning in effect for Cass, Menard, Sangamon County until 4:15 p.m. Again, if you live in Mason County, especially between Mason City and let's see, let's get some other cities here. Kilbourne. You want to make sure that you know where to go if indeed you need to take shelter in place, because this warning continues to track off towards the northeast here. Again, let's see, they did take out, Cass County here, so it's now just Menard and Sangamon County, so they trimmed it out a little bit. So Menard and Sangamon County still continuing this tornado warning that's observed until 4:15 p.m. I'm going to put velocity. I'm going to see if we can see where this rotation is going on here. Okay, there it is. Just towards near Tallulah, in between Tallulah and Lewisburg. So not too impressive, but definitely can see where we're seeing some rotation going on right around, roughly right here. Again, this is moving off towards the north. Make sure, is it still the north, Cheryl? Yes. Or north? Okay. So
Yeah, now they're saying northeast, but
northeast.
it's just generally north to northeast.
Yeah,
north
to
you're just kind of
northeast.
splitting hairs, but
yes. Yeah. Okay, so let me put a tracker on the system as it moves off towards roughly the northeast here.
Now they're saying 30 miles an hour.
30, okay.
It was going 40 before.
Let me update that then. Just make this a little bit slower. So let's update this.
Northeast at 30.
You just tilt it just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so again, Tallulah, again, very shortly for you. Petersburg, around 4:04. Oakford at around 4:12. Greenview, 4:19. And then Mason City around 4:34, excuse me, 4:34. So again, we do have this warning that continues for now Menard and it's barely even really covering Sangamon County, if we're going to be honest here. There's just a little bit of it. So I would say more of Menard County is involved in this warning here as it moves off. Oh, what's this one? I just saw another warning. Okay, so we have another one that includes far portions of now Mason County.
Okay, this is tornado observed.
Yes.
For Fulton in Mason and Tazewell County. This is for Fulton, Mason, and Tazewell County.
So this includes Havana.
It was confirmed over Havana, moving northeast now at 25.
So this is a new one. This is for our far northern county. So you can, there's rotation right there, right near Havana. So it's like right in this area, we're seeing a little bit of rotation going on between Havana and Liverpool. So we do have another warning that does include some of our far northern counties. So Mason County, this includes one main city that I know a few of our viewers watch us in Havana. Again, we do have another tornado warning that does include other areas outside of our viewing area, like Fulton and Tazewell. But I know some people outside of our technical viewing area do tune in to us here at News Channel 20 in Fox, Illinois. So this one's also for 4:15. So now we have two polygons on the board here for central Illinois along this line. So we want to take this line of thunderstorms very seriously. Not only are they producing rotation, confirmed tornadoes, damaging winds, and then of course heavy downpours that can cause for poor visibility. So if you can for the evening, especially for here in Springfield, it's going to be heading our way here in the next, I would say 10 to 15 minutes or so, at the very least. You want to stay right now in your house, or if I know this is a holiday, so I don't know if anyone's really at work. But you want to stay right now inside. You want to be outside during this stuff. because these showers and storms can cause for poor visibility here.
And we had a report too from Havana with the circulation there. They've actually had some downed tree limbs around Havana due to those strong winds around Havana. So yeah, there's definitely the possibility to see damage, whether it be to your home or also to your outside landscaping, your trees. So definitely just be a really weather alert. And again, as we've been reiterating here this afternoon, please, you don't want to be traveling, you don't want to be caught outside with these stronger thunderstorms, certainly capable of producing some strong winds. So you definitely want to seek shelter. And as we now have multiple counties currently under tornado warnings.
Yeah, and another thing to keep in mind, especially for areas of our viewing area off towards our east, so like Decatur, Shelbyville at the moment, while you're fine right now, you want to make sure you have those weather alerts prepared for as this line moves through your area, because this line can still produce rotation, can still produce some gusty conditions. So whether that's a NOAA radio or your cell phone, you want to make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. Whether you turn on the TV or you tune into our Facebook pages. I don't know if our news station is streaming our coverage on there, but I know on Cheryl's and my Facebook page, we do get automatic posts of any tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. So those go immediately to our page. So if you, let's say if you lose power and you can't watch us on air, you can go to our Facebook page, you can go to our, whether it's a station's page, News Channel 20, or on Fox Illinois, or Cheryl or I's Facebook page. You can get those alerts on there, and every so often I do check my Facebook page while we're doing this wall-to-wall coverage, so if you have any really quick questions you want to ask, I can answer them. I'll try my best to go back and forth, but again, we do have these 2 tornado warnings in effect. Again, the one that we have right now impacting Menard, really Menard County, just barely a sliver of Sangamon County here. This is going to last until 4:15. Again, confirm tornado on the ground off north of Ashland. And then now we have another one that includes parts of Fulton, Mason, Tazewell, like cities in Havana. This is also confirmed. So you want to be in your shelter in place, whether that's the basement or the most interior part of your home.
Yeah, we've been tracking this squall line, this line of thunderstorms in association with a cold front that's blasting through the area. And as Sarah was just mentioning a few moments ago, let's say you live around Decatur or points east where you might think, well, nothing's going on here. Don't let your guard down, because this is the cold front that we're watching, and this cold front is sliding off in an easterly fashion. And keep in mind, we've had this warm, very unseasonably warm air the last few days, so that is making for a very unstable atmosphere. We've also had some breaks in the clouds, which get a chance to see a little sunshine out there. That can make the atmosphere quite unstable too. And now with the cold front coming through, it is the recipe to be seeing some stronger thunderstorms. So really much of central Illinois currently under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock this evening. So that means conditions are favorable around central Illinois, where we could be dealing with some strong thunderstorms that are certainly capable of producing some hail and damaging winds, but also to those isolated tornadoes. So please stay weather alert and have multiple means of receiving weather notifications, because again, the weather could change very quickly. It might be quiet where you are right now, but that may not be the case here in the next few hours. So please stay weather alert. As we've been mentioning though, our main game in town though is this cold front. We have several counties right now under warnings, and we have our one warning that's in effect here in the central part of our state here. Our warning continues now for Menard and Sangamon County, sliver there of Sangamon County, until 4:15. There was an observed tornado there, and also too, just to the north of there, another tornado warning impacting Mason, Tazewell, and Fulton County, as there was a confirmed tornado sighted very close to Havana. Now, generally, this line of thunderstorms, it's been packing a punch. Besides the possibility of seeing spin-offs and isolated tornadoes, we've also had some very strong wind gusts, winds that could be easily clocked over 50, 55 miles per hour, and that can cause some damage. So we've got multiple concerns going on. Really, all forms of severe weather are possible. Primarily, though, it's going to be these funnel clouds, but also to isolated tornadoes and the possibility for damaging winds. I think those are going to be the main concerns, although hail can't be ruled out. Frequent vivid lightning and heavy downpours too are also byproducts from these thunderstorms, so all modes of severe weather possible. So please stay weather alert. Please keep an eye to the sky for the rest of the evening hours. Again, as we were mentioning, we still have tornado warnings in effect for Menard County, and also too for right now Menard County until 4:15. They just shaved it out there from Sangamon County, and then we have our tornado warning too for Fulton, Mason, and Tazewell County until 4:15. So those are the 2 main concerns. As we zoom in closer to this one here in Menard County, though, Now these thunderstorms, again, very, very powerful thunderstorms. You can see from our reflectivity mode, you can see that we have the brighter shades of the reds and the oranges and the magentas. Well, that indicates the most intense part of this thunderstorm complex. So it's right here, especially just to the south of the Petersburg area. Very, very powerful thunderstorms. They are packing some very gusty winds. And again, we've seen some frequent vivid lightning as well. And now we have our tornado warning that continues here from Menard County until 4:15. So right now, the worst conditions are just entering around the Petersburg area. And these are moving off generally to the north at about 40 or about 35 to 40 miles per hour. I will put a tracker on these thunderstorms and we will see what other cities might be in line for this tornado warning. So again, putting a tracker on these thunderstorms, we're going to be moving off to the north and northeast here, generally in a northerly fashion, although the speeds have been kind of varying back and forth between about 35 to 40 miles per hour. But again, heads up here around Petersburg at 3:59, Curtis shortly after the top of the hour at 4:08. Then also too around Salt Creek around 4:23. So some powerful thunderstorms here. And again, we're going to be seeing all forms of severe weather. But our main concern, the possibility for tornadoes. And our tornado warning continues for the next few minutes here until 4:15 for Menard County. Now, along with that too, as we were mentioning, let's take a look at our velocity mode and we'll see how the winds are behaving here. Now, typically what we look at, we try to look at couplets here where the winds are going towards the radar site or away from the radar site. And I'm trying to look at the thing here, but it's kind of muddled here because we're getting close to the radar site here. It's kind of hard to see a distinct area where the circulation might be.
Put on, let's see, click this one real quick. So we can see the polygon. So we can see, get a little bit closer look at where it could possibly see it. It looks like it's trying to curve in right there, but I'm not.
Yeah, it looks like it might be, I don't know what that road is. I can't read it. Something Bridge Avenue.
Altig Bridge Road.
Yeah, it looks like it's just north of there, some circulation. Yeah, oftentimes what we look at here, we try to see different colorations because the colors indicate how the winds are behaving, what direction the winds are traveling. So the green colors mean the winds are going towards the radar site, but the red colors indicate the winds are going away from the radar site. So whenever you have that type of circulation, that means there is some kind of spin circulation available in the atmosphere, and we're seeing kind of a circulation somewhere around this general area, so we're going to be watching that. But it's kind of hard to tell because we're very close to the actual Lincoln radar site right now, so things are getting a little muddled here, but we're seeing some circulation here. Again, as these thunderstorms are moving and very quickly off to the northeast at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Our warning continues still for Menard County. This is all being generated because an actual trained weather spotter indicated a tornado that was sighted very close to the Petersburg area, again moving off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So again, some nasty thunderstorms all in association with this cold front that continues to blast its way across central Illinois. Sarah?
I'm trying to see exactly where the initial rotation is at since it's getting really muddled here. It's hard to really see. So I was like looking to see. It said it was near Petersburg.
Yeah.
As it's tracking off towards the northeast. This is where it gets very tricky when we get close to radar sites. It gets very muddled. But we do have this warning still for Petersburg and for Menard County until 4:15. And then we also have the other one that still clips parts of Mason County here near just off towards Liverpool. That's outside of the Mason County. But both of these now, at least, I guess somewhat of a good news is that they're not confirmed anymore. But it's still a very serious situation we want to take not take lightly, as this line has produced funnel clouds, produced touchdowns. Again, we do have these warnings still in place for parts of Mason County and then also for Menard County that has a tornado or storm capable of producing a tornado over near Petersburg. But we have this line here. I'm gonna zoom out really quickly. I'm gonna track out this line as it's just about to make its way towards Interstate 55 here in Springfield. So we'll start to see that here. But other places like Auburn, Verdon, you're seeing this rain showers, Chatham, Pleasant Plains. This is heading in your direction right now. So let me put a little tracker on this real quick. Let's see. So it's moving roughly 35 to 40 miles per hour off towards the northeast. of rain showers and some storms passing through the region. So again, Springfield here in the next couple minutes. Taylorville just before 4:30. Lincoln 4:32. Decatur just before 5, so 4:57. Bloomington at 5:07. Monticello 5:27. Pontiac at 5:40, and then Champaign just before 6 o'clock. So for our eastern counties, you got a while to go until this line reaches you, but that doesn't mean to let your guard down. We do have a tornado watch in effect for all across central Illinois until 9 p.m. Cheryl, I don't know where that graphic is in your show. Can we pull up that tornado watch so we can visually see that? Because I'm a visual person. I don't know if you viewers at home are, so I would like to kind of see what I know it covers a good portion of the viewing area. I just can't remember which counties were not included. Okay, so it doesn't include, Scott County, Greene, Macoupin, Montgomery, Fayette. And as this line continues to track off towards the east.
The tornado warning just,
Did they cancel
I
it?
think they just dropped it. Let's go
Yeah,
back.
they canceled it. So the one in Menard, good news, is canceled. So that is able to pass on. But we still have the one over to the far northern portion of Mason County still
Just
here.
that one. Yep, that's
Just
fine.
that one. So we'll stay a little bit longer.